Hi, I'm here at Meridian Junior High for the 7th grade cell tour. My name is Mrs. Sprague and I'm about to take you on a tour of a plant cell. Let's go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the cell tour. We are the cell membrane, and we are going to lead you through this tour. We hope you're super excited to learn about all the different parts of the cell and how they work in a factory. The cell membrane is semi-permeable, meaning that it can only let certain things through. This semi-permeable means that means it's porous, and it can let certain things through, but only keep certain things in. The cell membrane's job is to let sugars and proteins into the cell. The cell membrane uses endocytosis to let bigger molecules of sugar into the cell. Endocytosis is when it's called an active transport, and it uses energy to open up the cell membrane and let bigger molecules through. Passive transport is when it's more of a thinner substance and it just passes through. These are two pictures showing endocytosis and bigger molecules getting through.
As the cell membrane lets through sugars and sugar molecules through, it's kind of like a security guard because it can control what goes in and out of the cell. Some fun facts about the cell membrane is that it surrounds all cells, bacterial, animal, and plant cells. They are made up of all kinds of different molecules. They control the cell's activity and their lipids. Lipids is a kind of fat that cell membranes are made out of, and every cell membrane varies in size.
The cell membrane has many different names, such as the plasma membrane. The cell membrane is protected by the cell wall, and it's like an extra piece of security for the cell. The cell membrane helps keep structural integrity for the cell with the help of the cytoskeleton. Right here is a picture of a plant cell, and our highlighted part is the cell wall. Around, as you can see, it's surrounding everything in the cell. This is a picture of a real cell membrane letting bigger sugar molecules through, and then these are two pictures of the cell membrane. So let's go on to the nucleus for the next part of our tour.
Wow, thank you. I'm so excited to be on this tour. Wow, looks very cell-like in here.
Welcome to the cell. We're the first stop, the nucleus, by Audrey Hale
And Carson Johnson.
Its location and looks. It's located in the center of the cell. It also looks like a ball with another one inside. It's normally 5 to 10 micrometers in diameter, and its largest cell and its largest organelle in the cell, surrounded by ER.
This is a plant cell next to an animal cell, so you can see differences. We're more off to the side in a plant cell, and in an animal cell, we're in the center. In a factory, there is always a CEO, a chief executive, or just an overall boss, and they tell the workers what to produce and what to make. And they also watch over and control what happens at the factory. That's what we are, but inside the cell. We're the boss of the cell, and we regulate what proteins are made, and we tell the ribosomes what to do, what to make, and we control all cell activity. And that's all. We have we can take some questions, and you can take a look at a real nucleus in the microscope. This is what you'll see in the microscope. All of these are just the different parts that separate each cell, and then the dot is the nucleus of the cell in every one. And this is just a closer look at the nucleus. This is the endoplasmic reticulum, which you'll learn more about later. And this is the nucleolus, which is the smaller ball inside the nucleus. And now we can send it off to the chloroplast.
Wow, thank you. That's really cool. Awesome.
Hi everybody, we are the Chloroplast. I'm Abby and this is Gabe.
Chloroplast helps plants grow and bloom flowers. It also helps with photosynthesis.
Within a cell, the function of chloroplasts is that it uses energy from sunlight to make its own food. So in a city, you could compare it to solar panels because they capture energy and help for photosynthesis. In a factory, they would be solar panels because solar panels catch the sunlight like they do.
Chloroplast changes light into energy in food. The energy helps the cell produce protein and release protein. Chloroplast is an organelle found in leaves and green plants. They are found only in plant cells and not in animal cells.
A chloroplast is an organelle within the cells that of plants and only plants that certain algae that is a site of photosynthesis, which is the process of which energy from the sun is converted into chemical for energy. And right here you can see a picture of a plant cell in chloroplasts, which we are actually going to show you some chloroplasts in a little bit.
The chloroplast sometimes moves around the cell depending on where the best sunlight is.
Chloro is a word meaning green, and simple cells only have a few chloroplasts, which as like the major plant cells have hundreds. And well, if you look in here, we have a thing for chloroplasts.
Right here we have a model of a chloroplast. It has multiple different types of organelles inside of it, which is DNA, inner membrane, starch, outer membrane, ribosomes, thick, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's these. Steronomia, grammar, which is these stacked up on top of each other, and inner membrane space.
Now we will send it over to the lysosomes.
Wow, thank you. I learned so much about the chloroplast.
Welcome
Hi.
to the Lysosome by Peyton Coggins and Rain Sutherland. So right here we have a diagram of a plant cell, and this is where the lysosome is. But we don't stay in one spot, we're always moving around the cell. And then just here's another diagram that's easier to look at and comprehend. And this is where the lysosome is. Here is a diagram of the lysosome itself. You have the membrane, and then a lipid layer, which is a fat layer, and then there are some transport proteins in here, and then the hydraulic enzyme mixture is what helps to break down old particles and proteins. So lysosomes are organelles that are produced by the Golgi Apparatus that contains powerful protein digesting enzymes. So a lysosome cleans the cell by breaking down and recycling old particles that the cell doesn't really need anymore. When a lysosome ruptures in a cell, it causes all of the cell's internal proteins to be digested. And how is this like a factory? Well, the lysosome is like the factory's maintenance or cleaning crew. Now we're going to send you over to the mitochondria.
Wow, cool. I was like, get a close-up of this. There's the lysosome. Thank you. Hi.
We are the mitochondria by Phasm of Arms.
Zane. This is a picture of a plant cell, and that right there is a mitochondria, and here's a zoomed-in version of what that is.
The mitochondria is located in plant and animal cells. It is considered the powerhouse of the cell. It distributes methionine and trisulfate, which is the cell's main energy source. It also has tons of DNA within the mitochondria.
The cell is like a factory from anywhere from the assembly line to the structure of the building. The mitochondria organelles are parts of a cell. They are in the cytoplasm, not the nucleus. They make most of the cell's power supply. triphosphate, a cell supply of molecule. The cell's used as a source of energy. This means mitochondria are known as the powerhouse of the cell. And here's like a little comic of how it's the powerhouse.
Mitochondria would be the generator that powers the factory because mitochondria is what powers the cell. This is a plant cell. The bean shape is the mitochondria. What does the mitochondria do in the cell? The mitochondria produces the energy necessary for the cell's survival and functioning. Through a series of chemical reactions, mitochondria breaks down glucose into energy. Now, off to the ER and ribosomes.
Thanks, guys.
Hi everyone, we are the endoplasmic reticulum.
And ribosomes.
My name is Luke Becker.
And I'm Tristan McCall.
The ER, otherwise known as the endoplasmic reticulum, is usually located around the nucleus. There are two different kinds of ER. One is smooth ER and one's rough ER. The difference is rough ER has ribosomes attached to it and smooth ER has ribosomes floating inside of it. So this unit in science we were actually learning about how inside the cell is like a factory, and while the ER or the endoplasmic reticulum does in a factory is it's the assembly line. But of course with assembly line you need workers, and that's where the ribosomes come in. The ribosomes mainly work on the packages of protein that are inside the ER.
So the difference between a rough ER and a smooth ER is the rough ER has ribosomes that are attached to the insides of it. The smooth ER has ribosomes inside of it and not on the outsides. The endoplasmic reticulum is like a pathway for the proteins.
And also this picture down here, which is the plant cell, which is what we made in room, will show you that how the rough ER and smooth ER is actually around the nucleus and the ribosomes are there. Now off to the Golgi body.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome to the Golgi Apparatus, or also known as the Golgi Body, by Olivia Wood.
And highly playful.
The Golgi Body is just like the mail department inside of a factory. The Golgi Body will receive materials from other organelles and package them and ship them to other organelles in the cell.
Vesicles are just like milk trucks and will transport oversized loads to the cell membrane. The Golgi will usually transport things through the cytoplasm, but for oversized loads they do in vesicles. The vesicles will collect said load and transport the load to the cell membrane and fuse it to the blood.
Now what more does the Golgi Body do? The Golgi Body will collect materials from usually the endoplasmic reticulum, sort said materials, then package them, and finally transport them either in vesicles or through the cytoplasm. This is a plant cell, and you can easily find the Golgi Body by looking for a series of tubes and tunnels that can be found here and here. You can also look for vesicles around, such as circles usually found in drawings, and they can also be usually found near the endoplasmic reticulum. Now onto the vacuoles.
Wow, awesome. Thank you.
Hello, we are the vacuoles. Nice to meet you, Shane. The vacuole is like a storage unit in a factory. It stores water and food and breaks down all waste products.
Now, here are some examples that we could use. The warehouse is definitely what the vacuole would be. Here is the diagram of a plant cell. You can see these are the vacuoles. That is the vacuole, I'm sorry. And here we got some more diagrams.
As you know, the vacuole is in a plant cell and animal cells. Well, in an animal cell, the vacuole is very small and helps utilize water products and are very small. But in plant cells, they are very big and monitor the water level in the plant cell. Vacuoles are made of membranes with molecules inside that have no shape or size, so they can get bigger and smaller. Vacuoles are not only part of water fox, they help plants bloom and move all their seeds away in the sun. Now on to the
Cytoplasm.
All right.
Welcome to the cytoplasm. My name is Connor. I'm Jaden. Cytoplasm is makes protein, but how it makes protein is because it has ribosomes in it, and because these ribosomes are floating all around, they can make protein.
The cytoplasm is like the destroyer of waste in the cell, and it like compacts it down. And then, as you can see here, we have a cytoplasm right next to some support beams because the cytoplasm is like the support beams of a cell.
Above, you can see what the cytoplasm looks like close up, and down here you can see what the cytoplasm, where the cytoplasm is found in a plant cell. When you look on the diagram, you can't really see it. It looks invisible to you, like they're pointing at nothing. That's because the cytoplasm is all around, and it looks kind of invisible.
Gel. Cytoplasm is just like gel.
It's kind of like a gel mixture. So if you were to shrink down really tiny and feel the cytoplasm, it would feel like gel. Now over here, you have a microscope, and if you look into it, you can see all around a bunch of cytoplasm
Cool.
cells. So yeah, and now you'll be exiting through the door to your left.
Why, thank you. Is this the way out?
Yes, welcome to the last part of the cell tour, the cell wall. Please come right outside this door. Welcome to the cell wall.
During this project, we have studied parts of the cell and compared them to parts of factories.
The cell is a factory. The cell wall is like the bodyguard, the shield in front of the armor. It's like the strong walls and the strong foundation of the cell. It protects everything inside as a strong foundation. The job of it is to protect everything inside, and it is semi-predictable, meaning it only lets certain things in and out through the process of breaking small things down, making sure that all the toxic stuff stays out like a bodyguard, and letting only the good stuff in. And as you can see here, this is a diagram. It has 3 layers. The middle embryo, the primary cell wall, and it protects the plasma membrane. Then these tubular-like things are the hemicellus, and then it has the things that go up that help break it down is the perdix.
5 fun facts about the cell wall. First fun fact is that it was discovered in 1665 by Robert Hooke. The second is that the cell wall can be tough, smooth, or it can be rigid sometimes. The third one is that it provides protection and support. The fourth one is that it is made up of cellulose microfibrous. And then the fifth one is that the cell wall surrounds the plasma membrane.
This is what a cell wall looks like under a microscope. And this is a plant cell. Everything in dark green is the cell wall. I'd like to give you a big thank you for coming and seeing the cell wall tour, and goodbye.
Wow, thank you. What a great tour. Awesome job.